I believe I've found what could very well be the biggest airdrop of not only Q4, but the entirety of 2025, and that is EdgeX. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to get points in order to qualify for the airdrop, speculate on how much a single point could be worth in dollar terms, as well as show you how to use the platform. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Crypto Gorilla video. As usual, I'm not a financial advisor. I have zero control over this platform, the token performance, the token allocation at airdrop. This is all just speculation, so you need to make sure you do your own research before jumping in. But with that being said, hit the subscribe button and let's get into the video. So EdgeX is a decentralized leverage trading platform. If you want to sign up, I have a referral link in the description down below, but the easiest comparison here is comparing it to hyperliquid. Both EdgeX and hyperliquid are perp dexes that run central limit order books, which gives it a very familiar experience to a centralized exchange. Now, EdgeX does have the extra benefit of having a mobile app, which I find super convenient because I could trade when I'm on the go as well as when I'm on my PC. Now, both of them run the no VC narrative and instead have seen organic growth through incentives such as a token airdrop. If you remember back in November of last year, Hyperliquid did one of the biggest airdrops we've ever seen, giving away 31% of their token supply to their community, which is exactly what EdgeX is aiming to do through their ongoing point system. And so far, they are seeing success. If we take a look at DeFi Llama, comparing all the different protocols out there, EdgeX is currently in 8th place in terms of revenue generated over the last 7 days. Their TVL has exploded, currently at 166 million, as has their user base. But what's really impressive is their volume. Over the last 30 days, they've seen an average of more than 1 billion in perp volume per day. And in the last 24 hours, they are nearly at 2 billion in volume, which if we look at Hyperliquid at the time of TGE, they were getting roughly 2 billion in volume as well. So the platform is getting a lot of attention, and this is an airdrop that I want exposure to. Now, the way to do this is by accumulating points, and the point system works on these weekly pools that unlock more points based on the volume that they're seeing on the platform, and then points are distributed every Tuesday at 8 p.m. EST. Now, to get points, there are 3 different activities you can do. The main one is going to be trading, because that makes up of 70% of the points that they're distributing. And if we look here, you can see trading volume is 60% of the points being handed out. Then liquidation points are 5%, and open interest, so having an open position, is another 5%. Now, the second way to get points is by helping grow the platform by referring others. Again, my link in the description down below. And this is going to be 20% of the points. And finally, they are giving away 10% of their points to those who use their vaults, which does allow you to earn APY on the money that you've deposited. So it's kind of like a passive way of earning by using this platform. Now, obviously, your goal here is to get as many points as possible, but considering this is a leverage trading platform, you don't want to get wrecked while farming this airdrop. This is something we see on a weekly basis, mass liquidations, hundreds of millions of dollars of people getting liquidated and just blowing up their entire portfolio trying to hit huge wins on leverage trades. So be very careful, especially if you are not an experienced trader. Don't lose thousands of dollars trying to get like 10 points. But I also find that's a good question. How much can points be worth? Which I've actually worked out in this sheet here. Again, this is all speculation. I cannot guarantee that this is going to happen, but there are 3 different factors that I'm looking at when it comes to estimating how much points are going to be worth. So those 3 factors are: 1, how many points are they going to be distributing? 2, what percentage are they going to hand out to their community in terms of the token supply on day 1? And then 3, what FDV do we think they can hit on the secondary market? Now, if we compare it to Hyperliquid, the amount of points that Hyperliquid handed out doesn't matter here. But if we look at EdgeX, they've given out already 3.2 million. So we have to make some estimates on how many we think they're going to hand out before this campaign ends. The second thing was the airdrop supply. And we know that Hyperliquid gave out 31% of their token supply. So let's use that as the maximum. Even though EdgeX has said that they want to do similar to Hyperliquid, let's maybe go lower just to have reasonable expectations. And then the third one is going to be FDV. The FDV for Hyperliquid, I believe, was on day 1 4.5 billion, maybe a little less. I could be wrong about that. But again, let's stay on the more conservative side and, just trying to limit our expectations. So if they end up stopping the campaign at 5 million points, which would be an additional 1.8 million from what they've already given out, and they give out 20% of their token supply to their points earners, and they hit a $500 million FDV, a single point would be worth $20. Now, if we increase that, maybe we say, hey, they're going to really match hyperliquid and do 30%, and they're going to hit 1 billion FDV, a single point would be worth $60 per point. So you can see, depending how high the FDV goes, these points can end up being worth a lot. But again, this is really limited to if they only give away 5 million points. Let's say they give away 8 million points. These numbers are obviously going to change because now there's more points in the system. So a single point at 20% and 500 mil FDV is going to be worth $13. But let's say it reaches 2 billion FDV at 25%, a single point could be worth $63. So I'm going to link this down below. You can just copy it and plug in your own numbers. Maybe you want to say, hey, they're going to go up to 10 million and really see how this changes the points. So now that we understand how to earn points, what points could be worth, how exactly does this platform work? Well, after you use the referral link in the description down below, like I said, this is a decentralized platform, meaning you're going to need a MetaMask, a Rabby, whatever wallet you prefer. You would connect your wallet to the website. You can also use an email, but I'm just going to use a wallet. I use Rabby. You click connect. You sign the transaction and confirm. It is going to show you the terms and conditions. Make sure you're cool with this if you're clicking agree, right? I'm not refunding you if you get liquidated, okay? You need to understand the platform that you are using. I do, so I'm going to click agree. I'm going to send the request. I have to sign and confirm a couple of times. It's going to go through, and now I'm able to use the platform. Now, of course, the next step is going to be to fund the account. You click on deposit. There's a few chains that you can choose from, either BSC, Arbitrum, or Ethereum. Depending the chain you choose from, it's going to give you multiple options like USDT or USDC. If you do ETH mainnet, it is just USDT. You select the amount that you want to deposit. I don't have any in this wallet, so I can't. You click the deposit. Minimum is $10. You sign the transaction and your money is going to arrive and you're able to start trading. So if you've leverage traded before, you probably understand exactly what we're looking at. If not, let's run through it. So first of all, you need to pick the token that you want to trade. If you pick the majors, you can take on some really big leverage because you could do 100x your position size. If you want to trade with $1,000 at 100x, you're now technically trading with $100,000. The downside here is if it goes too low and hits your liquidation price, you lose your money. Now, if we scroll further down the list, some of the non-majors have smaller leverage positions. It's going to be between 5, 8, and 10x. So pick a coin that you're cool with. We're just going to do ETH for the sake of this video, which does let us go up to 100x leverage. I don't recommend doing that. That is extremely risky, but let's just click confirm here so I can show you the different options that are available. So looking at this here, you have your chart, you have the order books, you have this area where you're actually going to take the trade, and then at the bottom, you have your position, your trade history, and all that. So let's say I did some TA, whatever, I want to take a long or short on Ethereum, all that would happen on the right side here. So the first thing that is worth noting is that this platform only offers cross margin. What cross margin means compared to the isolated margin, which is the other type, isolated means if I put up $1,000 in a trade and I get liquidated, I only lose that $1,000 versus cross margin. If I have 10K in my perps portfolio, which on this account I do, and I put $1,000 into this trade, but I get liquidated, I lose the entirety of my portfolio, whether it's just sitting in my wallet or whether it's active on another trade. That is the risk with cross margin, but the plus size is because it's using your entire portfolio, your liquidation price is very low. Like right now I'm at 100x, so it's not. Like if I 100x long with 14% of my portfolio, my liquidation price is 4,000, which yeah, ETH would need to drop $350 from here, but that's very possible. But let's go to something way more reasonable and do 10x. Confirm. Now my liquidation price is $1,230. If that hits, I got way bigger problems than losing my 10K, right? That probably means like something major collapsed because we just went down over 75% very quickly while my trade is still open at least. So let's keep it at 10x. You have the option between limit orders, which means you can set the price and it won't buy or short above or lower than the price you set. I'm going to do market because I'm not taking on like millions of dollars of size and the order book can actually handle my size. Let's just do a small amount here. I'm just going to slide this up if we can hit, okay, 5%. Let's just do that. My liquidation price is non-existent. So I don't have a liquidation price. That's how small my position is. I also recommend setting a stop loss as well as take profits. Like, you can see, it'll tell you exactly how much you can make here with your position. If I increase it, let's say we go to 50% of my portfolio, again, the entire thing's up for grabs, but I'm using 50% on this trade. And I say, hey, when it goes up 100%, how much am I going to make? It's going to tell me I make exactly what I'm putting up. But let's say it goes even higher. Let's say I put this to when ETH goes to $7,000, I want to exit my trade automatically. I'm going to make $31,500. So that's one thing you can set. The other thing is a stop loss, which I recommend using, especially if you're new. So I can say, hey, if ETH goes down to, what's it currently at? 4,350. If ETH goes down to 4,320, whatever, close my position. So it's telling me you're going to lose $322, but this is much better than if the market just completely nukes and you're down tens of thousands of dollars for a very long time, which is actually what's happening to me right now on my Pepe long on another account. So it's very unpleasant, especially because there is a funding fee, which is the fee you're either paying or sometimes receiving to have a position open. If you're short and everybody else is short, you're going to have to pay to keep that short open. But if you're short and everybody else is going long, you're actually going to be paid to have your position open. So just something to keep in mind, especially with the size of your position, because if you're paying, $10, $20, $50, $100, but your position is very small, it's only going to make you $10. It might not be worth having open outside of farming some points. So I'm going to lower this for the sake of this video. I don't want to leverage with that much. Let's just put it as low as possible. 2%, worst case, I lose $13 if this goes wrong, and then everything else looks good. So I'm going to do buy long. It's going to bring up a confirmation saying, hey, you are buying, you are longing ETH. Your margin that you're using is $200. Again, your entire account is up for grabs, but that's what it is. Then you click confirm, and my long, because I did market, it goes through. If I did limit, it would have waited for the market to hit those prices. You can see on the chart here, it shows me my current position, my stop loss. It shows me where it's going to take profits. And if I had a liquidation price, it would also be on the chart. But like we saw, I don't because my position is so small. Now, if we scroll down, I also see my position. Currently, I've paid zero funding because my position hasn't been open long enough. And I am currently in profit, $3. We are up 1.51%, right? We can generate that image like everybody does and share it on social media, flex on everybody. But let's say I want to close my position before either hitting the stop loss or hitting my take profit. Very simple. I would just under close here, I can once again do a limit sale or close the position, which allows me to set a certain price, or a market close, which I'm going to do market close. I'm going to close, you could do partial. I'm going to close 100% of my position, confirm, and voila, it has closed and we are in profit on our first short or long on this account. Congratulations. But that's pretty much how you trade on this platform. Outside of that, you can invite others like we saw, which is going to get you a share of the 20% allocated points. So my referral link is in the description down below. If you use it, it really helps my channel out a lot. I'm going to get a bigger airdrop because everybody using my link, I get a portion of your points as well as your fees. And then the final way is going to be through their vaults. Here is where you stake money and in return you get an APR, which this percentage changes over time. It's not a fixed amount that you're just guaranteed to get, but the amount that you're able to allocate into these vaults is going to be based on your usage of the platform, how much volume you have, and all that. So Initially, you're probably not going to be able to use this, but if you're trading a lot, if you're really using this platform, you're going to be able to stake some funds and hopefully earn some really good money while also farming points, because 10% of the points are going towards Vault users. But like we saw, 70% is for traders. So that is the main place that you're going to do it. And the second place is going to be through referrals, because that's super easy. It's passive. You just share your link a little bit, maybe invite your friends, and so on. But that does it for today's video slash tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. Again, none of this was financial advice, okay? It was just speculation. So do your own research, but I'm really looking forward to this airdrop, and I hope I absolutely cook on it because I missed the hyperliquid airdrop. If you enjoyed it, if you found it informative, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification. Thank you for watching another Crypto Gorilla video. Peace.